Welcome to Upright Chiropractic. I'm Dr. Jeff Jenkins. Today I'd like to talk about the kindest, gentlest man. When I was 8 years old, I went to Hawaii to visit my grandparents and family, and I went to Long's Drugs with my grandfather to pick up his film that he had developed from slideshows from around the world. We got in line at Long's Drugs and waited. There were maybe 6, 7 people in line, and it appeared that the young lady working there, about 23 years old, it was like her first day on the job or something. She was not very efficient, and people were getting impatient. And when it was our time, my grandfather paid her for his film, and when she gave him his change, he took his other big puppy dog hand and put it on top of hers. And he looked into this girl's eyes and he said, "Thank you, my dear, for being so kind." I grabbed his hand. We took 3 steps towards the door, and then I turned around, looked back at this young lady, and she was looking up at my grandfather like this angel had just set her free. Ah. And all the nitpicky chickens that were busting her chops kind of disappeared from her consciousness. And so in that moment I lived. At 8 years old, what we read in books, practice simple, random acts of kindness. Well, that changed my life because I saw how something so simple could change somebody's physiology. Now, at 58 years old today, I had somebody apply that to me on Sunday, and it was the most healing day I ever remember in 58 years of my life. I ride a super scooter. I love this thing, Suzuki Bergman 650. It was 120 miles an hour. It's a scooter. I don't have to shift with my feet. I love it. I was riding on the freeway coming home, and it's starting to get warm now, so I was excited I was going to get to start riding my scooter. I came off the freeway. It was about a mile from my home, and it started to drag. I looked down, the front fender is dragging on the ground. Now, I hardly have a screwdriver or a hammer. I'm not a fix-it guy. And so this is like pulling me down. And something I learned about healing in this moment was we often future pace stress that never happens. And so we build a lot of stress and worry in our minds, consciousness, and we take it on physically, and it's exhausting. For example, that was a Saturday afternoon. I was heading home, and then I thought, oh man, this week's gonna be terrible. I have to order a part. Might it take 2 or 3 weeks for it to get here? And then my neighbor, my mechanic, can put it on for me. But anyway, I was in my head and kind of bummed out. I fell asleep at 6 o'clock that evening and woke up at 9 a.m. 15 hours of sleep after usually 3 a night. As I walked through the carport, my scooter was put back together. My neighbor, Jacob, the greatest ever, and he's my mechanic, and he practiced a simple random act of kindness. He saw my scooter broken apart, and so he went and drilled holes in it and tied it up and fixed it, and I was made whole. I became a huge goosebump. I was driving to the farmer's market to get some blue eggs and go have a great day. I was going to meet a family for lunch that day for Mother's Day after church. And anyway, as I was driving down the freeway, I could hardly even see. My eyes were so full, my heart was booming open, and being the recipient of what I'm teaching, practice simple, random acts of kindness, was an unbelievable gift for me. When I went to the farmer's market, I went to find these blue eggs that I get there, and the blue egg farmer station was empty. It was Mother's Day, and I guess maybe they weren't going to show up that morning. Well, as I was walking by to look and see if there might be another place in the farmer's market, a little Hispanic boy, 5 years old, caught me with his words as I walked by his strawberry booth, and he said, "Would you like a free strawberry sample?" And I turned and looked back at this young man. Now, any child that's willing to speak to an adult has my attention. So I went, "I would love one, young man, thank you." And I enjoyed the strawberry, and he said, "I speak 2 languages, and sometimes I help my parents communicate with others." And I freaked out. What a great gift you are. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. What's your name? Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. Wow, you're incredible. And I ended up buying some strawberries from him to give to this family I was meeting. And then I wanted to go back and get some more. And before I was done that day, I had given him a little Batman token, telling him I'm Batman. And I gave him a yin yang pendant, which when I came back, he was wearing around his neck. And I came back to buy some more strawberries as gifts for my mechanic. And I told the boy, I said, you just sold $100 more strawberries today to help your family and your farm because you opened your mouth. He said, always do that. Always make business. Go make things happen. Anyway, I love this little boy, and he looked at me before I left and he asked, are you going to be here next week? And I asked, are you going to be here next week? He said, yes. I said, then I'll be here. So anyway, practice simple random acts of kindness. And every time I do something kind for another human, I love myself a little bit more. And that's the simplest way to feel good about yourself, is find a need and do something kind for another human. And when you do that and you walk out and you love yourself a little bit more, then do it again. And the more you empower yourself and put yourself first and do the things you love, then you get to love every moment of your life. And I want you to love yourself so much that the only humans who get to be around you, you've got to love yourself more when you're around them. And as we get people that we don't love ourselves as much when we're around out of our lives and spend no more time like that, then you can love every moment. Be around people that you love yourself more when you're around, and your whole life will become exactly as you would like to create. Practice simple, random acts of kindness. Thank you.